2, 1.
I'm eating Subway.
Oh, god damn it, now you... The last 5 minutes I've been trying to figure out what Alex has been eating.
Come on,
And he's
keep
like,
eating.
oh, we're gonna start. Oh, he's eating Subway.
What an auspicious beginning
Damn
to
you.
today's broadcast.
Ah.
That's the best intro ever.
Well, hello again,
Yeah,
guys.
maybe Subway will fund us. They'll sponsor us.
Welcome to another episode of /Chat Podcast. I am Almir Mila, and these are our lovely hosts. Blah blah. So, as always, as each week, we are going through and figuring out who everyone is real quick, and what they've been playing for the week, and what they've been up to. So, as always, Alex, will you mind starting us off?
What have I been playing? Oh god, I've been playing a lot lately. I've noticed I've been taking a break from Skyrim, which is kind of shocking for me. So I've been playing. I played Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes last week for review on the Hardcore Gamer magazine, which I write for, and game's been getting a lot of negative attention because it's so short. It's about you can literally complete it in 1 or 2 hours, and it costs $30. It's $20 if you get digital last gen, but if you buy it next gen or you buy it physical, it's $30. So of course everyone's throwing a fit about this, like, oh, this is terrible. This is going to convince other developers to sell really small amounts of content at a really high price. And well, first of all, I don't think that's true. I don't think if EA did this, people wouldn't let them get away with it, because EA does this all the time. And people are calling it a glorified demo. They think that everyone's going to do it, and I think that's crap. And second of all, the game is actually really good. Really, really, really good. It's not just... I admit it's short. I'm not going to deny that. And I wouldn't recommend everyone go out and spend $20 or $30 on this unless they like Metal Gear. But this is a really good game. I mean, because this is sort of the precursor to Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Pain, that's coming out whenever. And the way that the stealth is sort of open world. It's like, normally when you're playing a stealth game, you got to go one way and just avoid everything. But this one, there's a lot of open-ended design. You can pretty much veer off the chosen path whenever, and as long as you don't get caught. It's so good. It's so awesome. It's just really short, and really that's the only argument I can have. And I can say that if the Phantom Pain follows this example, then it's going to be probably one of my games of the year, because I had so much fun playing it. I just wish it was longer. And it's really the argument between, should reviewers talk about price in their reviews? Some people say they should, some people say they shouldn't, and I'm kind of in the middle on that. Other than that, I was playing... I finished Just Cause 2 on my PlayStation 3, and I use air quotes because I finished the story as an open-world game. The interesting thing about Just Cause 2 is I love that game because it's so much fun to get around, and there's all these different locations and things to find. I spent about 20 hours just looking for stuff, to new locations, new secrets and stuff. 20 hours, and I finished the story, and I'm like 33% done. I'm like,
oh, jeez.
I have a long ways to go, but the good news is I have a lot of fun with this game. It was like free for PlayStation Plus. It's so much fun. It's one of the best open world games I've played in a long time.
Nice.
And other than that, I took a break to play some like Genesis Sonic games on my computer. Been playing lots of Minecraft.
Woot woot.
I really have no one else to blame for that except someone who's in the cast right now.
Woot woot.
David, you convinced me to play Minecraft all the time. And
Minecraft is fucking awesome. You know?
Yeah, and I owe all
Best
my
damn game
interest
ever.
in Minecraft to David And some for Jeremy. Jeremy's been really good.
Hey.
Oh, Kat, you're here too?
Oh no, not at all.
Oh, that's awkward.
Just ignore me.
Nah, Kat's been teaching me the ins and outs of Minecraft. David didn't do anything.
Yeah, I just sat back and laughed the whole time.
I'm so new at Minecraft, so I keep dying over and over again. And the time I was getting lost, and I lost all my stuff in Kat's stupid mine with the one square of lava that I fell into and couldn't get out. So all this stuff I had just vanished, and I spent the next hour just trying to find her frickin' place, which is gone apparently. So I started over, but everyone else is like, Alex, you do that in Minecraft all the time, and I'm like, well, I'm new at it. Give me a break. And I was gonna play Borderlands 2 last night, but there were complications.
AKA Kat-astrophe.
It really was a catastrophe. I know.
Is that what we're gonna call it now? Every time you pass out randomly?
No.
Or when she resets the Minecraft world by accident.
Don't do that again.
No, I think the definition of a catastrophe.
Jeremy's expression is like, he would be the most frustrated about that than any of us.
Oh, I know.
Have you seen my house?
Oh, yeah.
And when Kat was teaching me Minecraft, I go to her house, and I'm like, oh my god, this is enormous. I'm never going to get there. And then she decides to take me to Jeremy's place. I'm like, why would you do this? I never... just show me that which I will never have. Because seriously, Jeremy, your tower is incredible. I mean, that takes an unprecedented amount of diligence and patience to make something that incredible.
But no,
that's my week.
We are deciding that a catastrophe not only says that it was something that happened that I caused or is my fault, but also the magnitude of in which it was. Like me spilling tea on myself the other day just to avoid my keyboard. That was awesome. That was also a catastrophe.
Whoa. You're comparing spilling tea on yourself to accidentally deleting Jeremy's fortress.
Yes.
There is a difference in magnitude between that.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
But when it's a jug this big of tea...
no excuses, Kat.
Jug this big of tea?
You destroyed Jeremy's tower, Kat.
You ruined Christmas.
You ruined Christmas again.
This is why we can't have nice things.
I know.
Well, definitely
I know.
you can't, Jeremy, because your tower was a really nice thing.
It's rebuilt.
Yeah, you really
it just
got
took
on
a
that quick.
while.
Yeah, I could see the rage kind of hiding behind your smile, Jeremy.
It's a game.
Oh.
Well, that was my week. Lots of catastrophes.
So David, what have you done this week?
My week has consisted of me dying of coughing, basically. I'm so sick right now. I felt like I coughed up a lung earlier. It was pretty bad. So, Minecraft, Skyrim, coughing, sleeping, eating. That's my week. Very boring this week. I'm gonna try not to cough as often as I can.
How's your leg doing?
It's better. It really hurt when I worked this week because I had to stand on it for 18 hours twice. And it's on a torn muscle, so ouch. Yeah.
Sad face.
But I'll live.
Well, that's good.
I'm more worried about being sick now, actually. Because it's so bad. So woe is me.
Get better soon.
Thank you.
Hopefully next week we have a conclusion of David's being sick and you're just like, we're fine, we're awesome, we're good.
You're getting better. That's good.
I did do update video for the YouTube channel about the D&D stuff. I finally got off my ass. I was like, I'm sick. Might as well be constructive and edit stuff. There was no audio for some reason.
Oh no.
So I made a really long update video sort of covering everything that happened and whatnot. Instead of my normal, like, 10 minutes, it's like a half hour of me talking at a camera.
My whole 4 minutes and 33-second escape.
I mentioned it. I went in depth about it. Also, I don't know if I should spoil it or not. Maybe I should make you watch the video. But I added up how much game time it took your character to actually do the escape, and it's surprisingly short.
How much was it?
So bad. 36 seconds.
Was it really? 36 seconds?
Something like that, yeah. I think it was a little bit more like somewhere around the 40s, but because each round is 6 seconds, and it took you only a few rounds to actually get out. So, you know.
Yeah.
Seconds. Yes.
Do a quick cat dance.
But yeah, so I added it up, the specific numbers in the video, so you can look at that if you want.
Awesome.
Just saying.
Awesome. I'll have to go check that out.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was my week.
So, Jeremy, what have you been up to this week? What have you been playing?
I've been doing a lot of building, both in the game world and in the real world. Speaking of Minecraft, how did you like your room?
Oh, yes.
I made her room in Minecraft match her room in real life.
That's awesome.
AKA pink.
That is pretty awesome.
I accidentally bred a pink sheep a while ago and went, you know, this is going to be funny at some point, and I just kept saving pink wool, saving pink wool, saving pink wool. So I coated one of her rooms entirely in pink.
That's quite humorous. I like that idea.
A lot of Minecraft, especially since I had to rebuild a 10,000 stone brick tower.
Yep.
Because of a catastrophe. But got that done. Tried building a spawner that isn't working correctly for some reason, and I can't quite figure out why. I may just have to, like, clear that entire area of the nether, which is going to take forever. Mostly just playing Minecraft as far as gaming goes. Kind of taking a break from Skyrim and the like, because I outplayed it a little bit too much. Building a couple of foam weapons for some friends who do dagger here. Building some new equipment at the gym. So just a lot of building. Building in Minecraft, building in real life.
Yep.
Building is fun.
Yep. So what's Kat been up to other than looking at pink walls?
Okay, so let's see. We've had
And
probably...
sleeping.
We had 2 catastrophes. Really major catastrophes, which was the reset of the Minecraft server. And then last night, which I was supposed to be streaming and playing Borderlands 2 with Alex, and then I ended up falling asleep. And I found out that I can teleport, which is amazing. AKA sleepwalk from the couch to the bed. So, just saying. I can teleport. Amazing teleportation magic. Let's see. Mainly it's just been playing Minecraft, making sure the server is up and running. Which I actually saved it. Thank you, Cardinal, for reminding me, because I have to do it manually. He was like, hey, did you save the server? I'm like, wait, what? Oh, no. No. Yep, I need to save the server. So I did that.
Dun, 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 dun.
Right.
Super Kitty.
Woo!
Mainly, like, just been streaming Minecraft as of late. Rebuilt, like, a lot of my houses in my little underground village, which has been awesome. Found another fortress, which is amazing. Yeah, it's mainly just been Minecraft, unfortunately. Did, Wednesday with D&D with Cardinal, and then Sunday did the Vampire LARP with Jeremy. And then... all that... Hush, you. Hush. Okay, so we were given a hint, and the hint was to get dog shampoo. We're dealing with werewolves currently in the Vampire the Masquerade LARP.
Eh?
Eh?
So how does dog shampoo help?
Werewolf?
Yeah, wolf. Yeah,
I know.
castle.
I am very tempted to
That joke
at
never
least
gets old.
spectate the next one of these, just to see where these ideas come from.
I'm
I have
gonna
a deranged mind.
Yeah.
Well, clearly, but like more location-wise, not origin-wise.
I think I want to. I want to see if everyone would be okay with me, like, Skyping one. And see...
Wear like a GoPro. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, just attached to my head. Have a GoPro and, like, LARP and enjoy game and be like, hey guys, looky, I'm playing Vampire the Masquerade. Woohoo! But, no, other than that, it's just been Minecraft. I did get an awesome shirt in the mail today. Well, yesterday, technically. Today or yesterday. I don't really remember which one it was. But I got... It says Scout or Die, and it's a Teemo shirt. And it's so amazing. It's so
Teemo.
awesome.
Teemo.
Teemo. What? That's what I said. Teemo.
Teemo. Okay.
Teemo.
I think he just has issues with Timo.
Oh, okay. I'm like...
I don't even know what it is, so...
Something from League
Of
of
Legends.
League.
League of Legends.
That would be why.
But yeah.
Ah,
I've played that game like once.
Yeah.
God, Subway is not good when it's not warm.
I like my Subway cold. Thank you very
Cold
much.
Subway is weird. I feel like I'm eating something that shouldn't be eaten.
Quit dying! Cardinal, quit dying!
Cast some generic revive spell.
Cardinal's dying.
No
See,
die.
I'm just gonna pet.
if David dies, then it's
Oh,
on
camera.
Kat's channel, so she'll get in trouble.
I'm
Yep.
petting a mini Cardinal right now.
Oh yeah, she's petting your camera box. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm assuming.
like she's
but for
just-
me,
she's
my
just-
camera
she's
boxes
just-
are like,
The way she's doing that's like some like benevolent overseer of all of these little tiny people.
Little boxes.
God, when she does this, just step away. Why are you trying to eat everyone?
to see what the
Oh my
little
God.
people taste like.
She gets an appetite after she's been hibernating.
Yeah.
It's so amusing. So amusing to me. Okay. So
Yeah, don't eat people, because some people like that in a disturbingly obsessive way. Some people are like,
I won't eat
I'm
anyone.
gonna write my fan fiction.
That's when you should be worried.
Like, I'm gonna write my fan fiction.
So,
New
guys, the
ideas for
hat's
a
getting
fan
low.
fiction.
The hat is getting extremely low.
Hey Twitch, do your job and give us questions.
Give us questions and topics.
Yes.
You
Quit
can
being lazy. Don't be like me.
don't be like you. You can submit them on Twitter. You can send me messages on twitch.tv. You can message any of these guys below, and they will be like, "Hey, we got a new question or topic," and then they go in the topic hat. Topic hat, which is currently covered in fuzzies. I need to fuzz bust this hat. And we pull 5 topics each week. So, and then we'll discuss.
Or however many we can fit.
Or how. It's usually 5. It's actually.
Usually. Sometimes we go on huge
Tangent.
tangents. Sometimes we just have nothing to talk about. So we just
Yeah,
move
that's
on.
true.
But the point is we have comprehensive discussions every week unless someone sleeps in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's happened. So our first topic of the week is gaming and health. And I'm actually going to first turn that over to the person who submitted the topic. So go ahead, Jeremy.
I was hoping other people would weigh in on it first.
Well, do you want us to weigh in on it first? You were the one who submitted the topic, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do other people think first?
So we'll go down the line then. Alex, gaming and
like
health.
listening to myself talk.
Gaming and health, like I'm kind of just like, what exactly the relation between them?
I was running out of ideas.
Well,
clearly, because this is a.
Okay, well then I'll start it then.
Go play DDR.
I'll play it. Then. I'll start this topic then. So gaming and health. A lot of things and a lot of people, especially with Twitch streamers. I know several people who have done Twitch streams, like the 24-hour streams or the 68-hour streams, and a lot of people are like, this is unhealthy for you to be doing this. And a lot of the times, like, especially, I don't know if anyone's familiar with, Ryan, Lenk, I think is his last name, Lenk. He used to do 1 to 90 for World of Warcraft, and he'd level these characters in literally one sitting. And it would go for like 60 plus hours. And at one point, a lot of the chat was like, oh my god, he's gonna die, this is so unhealthy, blah blah blah. And a lot of the gaming and health stuff that, like, I particularly, like, am a huge, like, advocate of is sitting there for a long time. And especially if you don't have, like, a nice computer chair, your back hurts, your legs hurt, and it's like, you get up every hour or so, just walk around. I usually, like, go downstairs, get a Pepsi, kind of just, like, make sure I take a break. And I noticed a lot of streamers, Man vs. Game does it every hour. He takes, like, a 5-minute break. And he makes sure that he gets up, walks around, uses the restroom, make sure everything's, like, gets something to eat, something like that. And I think that's a lot of something that, like, with gaming and health that I think more people should be aware of or touch base on. So that's kind of like where I think the topic is at right now. So, Alex, go ahead.
While you were talking, I was eating my Doritos, so.
Oh.
I choose good times to eat my junk food.
Your junk food.
And when we're talking about gaming and health, I could not think of a better time.
That's true.
Now, I totally agree to take a break. I mean, despite my experience in gaming, I tend to get exhausted when I play a game for probably more than 3 hours in a row, depending. I usually just get headaches, but you know, so you gotta get up and move around. You don't even have to do anything. Just walk around. Otherwise, your legs will get, I don't know, what's something that you get from not using them all the time. I don't know. But the MMO thing is a big part of that, because I actually remember when I was in college, I took an interdisciplinary course called Your Mind on Video Games. And we watched a movie. I don't really remember the name of the movie, but it was sort of about gaming addiction and how this one guy would sit in his chair for 17 hours straight just playing EverQuest or WoW or whatever that was. And like he wouldn't get up to eat, he wouldn't get up to go to the bathroom. And it was just like, is gaming addiction unhealthy? And I'm thinking, well, of course it is. Any addiction is unhealthy. Even if it's an addiction to a good thing, you still have an addiction. You always need to tame the addiction. And one thing that I really don't like from a lot of psychologists is they try and treat gaming addiction as they would an alcohol addiction. They don't treat it as it's, you know, there's a reason that people are addicted to games in some ways. There are reasons, and it's not necessarily tied to the same way that people get addicted to something like alcohol or nicotine or anything like that. It's different, and none of these doctors are treating it differently. They just think like gaming addiction is the same as being addicted to junk food or television, and I don't think that's true, because games operate differently. And that's something I want to see more people doing. I don't think we should be wasting money on this violent video games argument, because the way that's being interpreted is completely wrong, because they think that if one guy goes and shoots up his school and he played video games, then we need to invest time and money into saying, video games cause violence, which is completely untrue, and I can prove it. Because they never talk about all the good things that video games do. Like there have been scientific studies that say gaming can improve your problem-solving skills or something like that. But the rule of thumb is that
memory recall, lots of things.
Yeah, pretty much. I just take a break. It doesn't have to be a long break. Just I don't like it when people play video games for like 10, 12, 15 hours straight, because that's a danger. What are you waving at?
I've done that.
Don't you do that on a weekly basis?
I do that on a weekly basis, though.
Do you take breaks though? Do you get up?
Sometimes, like, if I remember to,
Kat, why are you setting me up like this? Now I gotta take all that back because I'm not trying. Oh, great! She did this. She did this on purpose.
She did it.
Actually, like, based on that, is actually what I used to do is sit and do absolutely forget to eat. I would have literally a case of Pepsi, and would sit there and just drink Pepsi. I'd forget to eat. I'd forget to get up and walk around. And this actually wasn't recent. Since I moved into this house, I haven't had that issue because, like, I actually get up and do stuff. And I'm like, okay, so I'll go downstairs. Like, there's more steps. So I'll just walk up and down the steps for a little bit. Do something like that. But, like, before, when I first started playing World of Warcraft, I used to do that. 12 hours a day. Sit there, forget to eat, do nothing. Hell, when I first played Minecraft. When I first played Minecraft, the only time I would get up from my computer chair in 36 hours was to go use the restroom. And that was it. And I
gotta take all this back now, Kat.
Why?
Because I'm not gonna insult anyone on my podcast.
Well, no, but I personally, from being there, agree that it was not good. I felt horrible, my body hurt, I felt like crap. Like, it was not good. And that's
why did you set me up?
I didn't set you up.
She set me up.
I did not.
I know, but I'm saying it anyway.
I know.
But I just think that I remember even back like in the 80s, Nintendo would have like in the instruction booklet, don't forget to take a break every now and then. And now on their Wii games, they say take a break, or like I think there was a recent like 3DS game that said, you want to take a break? Like in the game, it says you've been playing for this much time. How about a break? And I'm like. Like, I kind of think that that's, overkill. That's not something you should have to remind people of because, like...
Unfortunately, I think you do.
Like, why can't we just, it doesn't have to be long. You don't have to go out and run a mile as a break. You don't have to do that because no one wants to do that. But I think that if we are going to... I think games have always had that sort of negative connotation, like... people who play games are lazy and they're couch potatoes, but I'm starting to think that as games become more and more accepted by the mainstream, we're starting to avoid that. I think that, of course, there's the there's like the World of Warcraft South Park episode, which kind of reinforced that stereotype.
Oh yeah.
But
it was funny.
It was funny. I admit that it was completely funny, and I do not think that the creators had any intention of just making the game... They didn't mean to offend anyone, clearly. No. If you have a sense of humor, you'll deal with it.
Wait, it's South Park. I thought they meant to offend everyone.
Yeah.
They make fun of everyone. If you're not offended by watching South Park in some way, then you're probably not a human being. You're probably not a human being. And even if you were a human being... And even if you weren't a human being, they make fun of dogs, like Stan's gay dog or something like that.
Aliens.
So, aliens, definitely. They did that. They did that from the first episode. Cartman gets an anal probe. So I
need a puppy. I'm not into eating the job.
Oh god! Now I need to listen to Brental Floss like sing the Final Fantasy theme in Eric Cartman's voice. Now I want to listen to that again. But yeah. Oh, I mean, I don't even think any of these problems with like video game health are they're not mysteries. They're not secrets that need to be studied. They're common sense. Like you wouldn't keep running for 10 hours. You'd take a break. Even something as healthy as exercising, you need a freaking break. It's just common sense. Yet we're still kind of in this idea where people don't think that's important, and I don't think that's right.
So, David, what is your take on this?
Yeah,
like,
David,
what have
go
you
ahead.
done?
I have a few different opinions on it. For one, I have to take a break every hour because I have a bad back. I was born with scoliosis, so I can't just sit here forever. But I'm a big lad, so like, you've probably seen me. I'm kind of big compared to everyone else here. Gaming health for me is a weird subject. I know everything I'm doing wrong, and yet I haven't done a damn thing to change it. Like, I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. I work, 2 18-hour shifts on the weekend, and I personally feel like, fuck it, enough. I don't care. But that's me in a different mindset and everything. But, you definitely need to take a break because you can cause serious back injuries. There are, again, Twitch streamers that just from sitting there casting have given themselves back, muscular injuries. There's a mental health aspect to it as well. Like, depending on the person, some people, goes along well with gaming addiction. It's an escape from whatever their problem is at the moment. Like, it's the same thing with some people do drugs for that reason, other people drink for that reason. I find from a mental health aspect, games to be a great, stress release. Like, I don't get angry. I don't, get mad at people because I'm like, you know what, doesn't matter, whatever. And then maybe when I get home, I might shoot a few hundred people in Call of Duty, whatever. And someone mentioned before, there's, this argument between, like violent games make people violent. Not really. For people to go and then do something stupid or violent, they have to already be. And they've just decided, yeah, I'm going to copy it, and that looks harm a fly, and they've played the most violent video games I've ever seen. My cousin, for instance, he has.
You keep cutting out, Card.
Now. It's not my fault. It's the new headset. It needs a program adjustment. My cousin, for instance, has massive depression, not because of imbalance, and he's like, all right, video games, everything else shuts out the world basically, and he's really happy when he's playing. He doesn't have to deal with other stuff, medicated, and now his balance has been corrected, and he's super happy. He still plays the video games. He still remembers the time when he didn't have to deal with the shit people kept giving him. But whatever. There's a lot of problems, but the aspect with games goes many ways. You got mental health. You have the physical. It helps with some people. Doing this online, more people, they talk to more people. They might go out and do stuff every day. It doesn't mean they're going to meet and talk to people and make friends. I'm talking to you right now, I've never met in person. They live in a whole other country than I do, and without, these games, I would never have talked to these people, ever. And, not be able to call them friends, and I've only known them, for not as long as I've known some real people in my country that I can talk to every day, but, same thing with them. I don't see them every day. I don't see you guys every day. I'm not addicted to it because of that, but without it, I wouldn't know you. So that's my standpoint on the whole thing. It's a touchy subject for a lot of people, but there's so many different ways to consider it and take it, and I'm going to stop.
So, Jeremy, you posed the topic. Now, what is your viewpoint of it?
Well, it's pretty well in line with what a lot of people have already said, it's a thing of just get up, take a break, because I know I've gotten, I'm kind of Mr. Health over here, and I even get into it sometimes where I just play for way too long. I think I've kind of done that this week with Minecraft. I just get in a zone and I just start building, and then I look up and realize it's 7 o'clock in the morning. Get up, take a break. There are things you can do even sitting at your chair that are still better than just sitting there. Get a milk jug or a water jug and just move it around some. Think about do a curl. It only weighs like 5 pounds. It doesn't sound like much, but it does something. I got some. Hold on, I'm actually not looking at the. There you go. Yeah. Yes, I mean it really is just that easy. I got a set of grippers that I managed to wear a hole in one of my fingers because I was playing with it too much. It's just the thing of get up, move around, maybe eat, something that doesn't have 500 calories per serving, like I was doing last night. Some snacks are healthier than others. Some are really unhealthy, and I'm as guilty as the next person.
You know what's good to eat? You know what's good to eat to give you energy that's not bad for you? Eat like peanuts. I had my roommate.
Unless you have a peanut allergy.
Unless you have a peanut allergy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna try and make a joke like eat them if you want, even if you have an allergy, but I don't want to. But they have, I had my old high school friend who I roomed with in college. I remember we were in school the year that Skyrim came out, so he canceled class. He didn't go to his class the next day just to play Skyrim, and I'm like, now that I've actually played Skyrim, I can completely understand that. So he would. Some people would eat a lot of, like sugar, they get a lot of starches and all that stuff. He would eat peanuts because they have protein, they give you the energy, but they don't have as much of the bad stuff. Mm-hmm. They don't taste as good, but salt them a little bit and you got yourself something. He would also do this when he was, studying for a class or something, late night. So that's something to look into. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of other alternatives that can keep you awake at night without giving you any sort of sugar crash or anything like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot there.
It's just the thing, if you're going to be sitting around for a long period of time, again, make sure you take breaks and make sure you try and do something when you're not just sitting there.
So another good game that actually, like, when you were talking about games that actually told you, hey, look, take a break, was Terra Online. It would actually tell you every hour. Like, as soon as you logged in, it would calculate every hour and be like, hey, you've been playing for an hour. And then it would just be like, go away. And then 2 hours go by. It'll tell you, you've been playing for 2 hours. Oh, you've been playing for 3 hours. And it would tell you how many hours you were playing as just, and it wouldn't even force it down your throat. It would just pop up real quick, give you enough time to read it, and then, like, go away. I actually thought it was very useful. And games that have, like, the actual time, like, the real time inside the game, I think it kind of, like, works out a lot better than games that are like, oh, there's no time inside the game. Because you can lose track of the time easier. And I think that, some games do it on purpose. Skyrim probably does it on purpose. Minecraft does it on purpose. MMOs in general, they do usually have the little time bar on the top of it, and they usually kind of tell you, hey, look, you've been playing this for so long. So I think that's also a good thing, to have a clock or something that you can see, like, on your desk, or play in windowed mode and have the clock at the bottom of the screen. One of those types of things. Based also on mental health, a lot of people, I know I fell victim to it, like, their life gets in a rut, it's the same reason why people read books. Like, I played MMOs to get myself, like, happy and enjoying things a lot more than, like, my life situation. Kind of got my mind off of it, and it actually made me kind of a better person in the end of things. It made me less depressed. It helped with anxiety. It gave me something to do. It gave me something to look forward to. And I think that's a lot of times with video games. It does promote mental health. And like Alex said, it does help you with problem solving. Go play Trine. Trine and Trine 2. Like, go play something like that. Go play The Secret World, where it has, like, all these problems in it, and problem solving and stuff like that. And I honestly think, like, based on, like, the gaming health in general, it's not just physical. Like, you have to put the mental aspect into it, too. But yeah, definitely something that a lot of gamers should be aware of, especially, like, long hours. Marathon gaming. I mean, I'll sit and watch someone, but I don't like, hey, you should do this, you should play for 24 hours. No, play for 6 hours. You can get up, go do something else. But we're gonna go on to topic number 2.
Yeah. Cliff note to the last topic.
What's up? Oh, Coke.
Oh yeah, cola.
Soda. It's okay, I'm drinking Pepsi as well.
Yeah. Believe it or not, this stuff is actually helping my throat.
Philistine, you're
It's like
drinking water.
melting the mucus. Melting the mucus in my throat. It feels so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so this topic was actually submitted by one of our viewers, which I think he's currently watching. Yep. Hi, Graham. Okay, we're gonna like take it down from being serious for a little bit.
Yes.
If you had to live in an RPG world, which would it be? Most worlds need saving for a reason.
Ooh, gotta be back to RPG world.
So, Alex, what RPG world would you live in?
Huh. It's hard. Oh my god. I need to stop watching that. I'm going to pay attention now. Sorry, I saw a link on Twitter and I had to click it. This is a star bomb thing that I've been telling everyone about every week. But I mean, RPG worlds. You know, I could be a cheater and say Kingdom Hearts, and just say like, because there's so many different worlds. I might have to go with that because I'm having kind of trouble thinking of any RPG worlds that really sold me in the same way. Skyrim, maybe, but I'm thinking more of the JRPG kind of stuff because those are more my kind of games. Persona would be weird because that's for like high school kids, and I'm not in high school anymore, so it would be rather awkward. Like me being around all of these high school people.
It's like, a little creepy.
More on a lot of creepy. But I'm just kind of looking through all the RPGs that I own, which isn't too many. But there's always Pokemon. I would probably either say Pokemon or Kingdom Hearts. I honestly cannot decide which one, just because there's a lot going on in them, but none of it is too fantastic, I guess. I mean, fantastic is like.
It's also not too life-threatening.
Yeah, I don't want to be like in Final Fantasy 13 3 Lightning Returns, where the world is going to end, and you have a protagonist who is as apathetic as a frickin' brick wall.
Right.
I like my protagonist to, have emotion. Otherwise, like, Lightning, Cloud, and Squall are not human beings. Because no one is that apathetic. I know I post on Twitter, but it's biologically impossible to be that apathetic.
So, Kingdom Hearts?
If I had to choose one, I'd probably pick Kingdom Hearts. Specifically, I don't know, Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2, because those have different worlds. Probably Kingdom Hearts 2. I enjoyed that more. I kind of enjoyed the world, so I'd say Kingdom Hearts 2. And I'd have 2 Keyblades because I'm cool. I'm cool. Everyone wants to be my friend. Follow me on the Tumblr.
The Tumblr.
The Tumblr. Go on the Tumblr and follow me. I mean, there's a shout out to, yeah, I stole that joke from the completionist, but
Oh, okay.
he said, anyone want to be my friend? Follow me on Tumblr.
So, David, what world would you pick? What RPG world would you choose?
Hands down, easiest for me, D&D 3.5, Eberron campaign setting. That's an RPG world. You can't tell me that's not D&D.
No, it is. It's a role-playing game.
Because it is, which is why I'm like, yeah. See, it has everything. You could just be a normal person, or you could be like, I have magic and spells, I'm gonna fuck up all you bitches. Which would be me, spell flinging everywhere, be like, I am the most powerful wizard ever. I'll help you, but not you. You know? Kind of how that would work.
That's true.
Yeah. Help the good guys, kill the bad guys, in general help myself. All that sort of jazz. Magic.
Not bad.
Saying ever in D&D. Wizard did it. Learn
So
it.
do you want me to limit this to video game worlds or just gaming RPGs in general?
Go with gaming RPGs in general.
Okay. I'm apparently a bit of a masochist because I would probably either choose between the world in Shadowrun or
That's a good one.
Secret World, honestly. I really liked the backstory and everything in that. And yeah, there's all kinds of crazy crap going on. The world is coming to an end and you're being sustained by these magical bees. But it was still fun and giving a way to figure things out. I just really liked the world of Shadowrun in general. Also, since they made an RPG of it, now technically I could say the Dresden Files universe would also be quite entertaining.
That would just be modern day with some supernatural stuff.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Okay. Just saying. Just saying. So, I really honestly don't know about the whole Kingdom Hearts setting, because at first I was like, that would be amazing, because I was going the same train of thought that Alex was, like, you'd have multiple worlds. However, you're kind of stuck to Disney settings.
So Disney owns everything now.
Right.
Including Star Wars, so Star Wars might be in Kingdom Hearts.
That
Or
is
Marvel.
True. Or Marvel.
Like, so you might see Spider-Man, Darth Vader, and Sora with Goofy and Donald all in the same game.
Awesome.
Now, do you rethink your answer? Because I set that up just to make Kat think.
I kinda do still rethink my answer, because everywhere you go in Kingdom Hearts, you have that like thing that's happening. Like, there's always Heartless around. There's always things that are trying to kill people. You don't have just that natural like village setting where you can just live your life.
Go to Traverse Town.
Traverse Town, yeah.
Or any of the other ones.
But I don't know. I kind of think I would probably put myself into like a World of Warcraft, like RPG setting. Something in which I could play anything.
You just want to be an elf.
I do want to be an elf. I really do.
Elf Cat. Cat elf.
I want to play an elf. But no, I think I would put myself in like a World of Warcraft or an MMO setting where you can choose what you want to do. You don't have to save the world. You can save the world if you want to, or you can be like a fighter, or you can be a mage or something like that. Actually, like, I wouldn't quite play Final Fantasy, like put myself in a Final Fantasy 14 world, because that seems like very the world is like going to die at some point, or there's going to be some sort of like big boss thing that's just going to destroy everything, and you have to be part of that like group of people to save the world type thing. But I think World of Warcraft, though, because you can choose to do that, or you can choose to just sit in Orgrimmar and fish. I think that's like my RPG. I think that'll be my RPG world, though. Is to be
You
like,
just want that so you can play as a catfish.
well, if I wanted to play as a cat, I'd go with Final Fantasy 14. If I wanted to play an elf, I'd go with World of Warcraft.
You didn't hear what I said, did you?
No, I didn't.
I said catfish.
Oh!
You said something about a fish. So you just want to be a catfish.
I want to be a catfish. Oh. Okay, so we're going to go into the next topic, which are LARPs. I don't know how many people actually have, like, experience with LARPs or not, so we're going to do a basic, general, like, definition of LARPs. They're live action role-playing. So you go out, you do stuff, you dress up, you walk around, you're in character, kind of stuff like that. So that's going to be our generalization of LARPs. So Alex, topic starter, LARPs.
Okay, no, I'm not gonna say that.
What were you gonna say?
I wasn't gonna say anything. No. I've never done LARPs before, but I think I'm not against the idea. I think it just depends on the setting of the RPG. Like, I maybe wouldn't do a traditional LARP. I mean, look, I don't know anything about them, so I've never done one in my life. I haven't been to one. I'm just getting into Dungeons and Dragons, the basic game. So I, don't know how LARP rules work. But I am not against the idea of trying one. I wouldn't be into maybe the traditional fantasy, but I think if maybe if it was something a little more alternative, like a Shadowrun or Deus Ex or anything that's not what you'd expect an RPG to be, because fantasy and RPG kind of go together hand in hand. They have since the very beginning. So I think if we can experiment with the setting, make something that no one would really expect an RPG to be built around, and since I'm a fan of The Matrix and a lot of cyberpunk mythology, so I would probably be more enthusiastic about participating in a LARP if the setting was different. I don't dislike fantasy. I just think I would be more enthusiastic to get involved if it was something
so like a steampunk setting.
Maybe even just an RPG that takes place in current day. It doesn't even need to. I know that fantasy is kind of a part of it, and not just like your traditional D&D fantasy, but things that cannot exist in real life.
Okay.
So, the closest thing I can think of to, say, a real-world RPG, and this is kind of a dumb example, but it's something like Earthbound. Earthbound is a completely... they fight with baseball bats and yo-yos, and it's just a bunch of kids in a typical city. That's something I'd like to see more, not just LARPs, but any kind of RPGs. We don't need to do fantasy. You can take something realistic and current and make it seem like fantasy by making it into an RPG. So,
David, your topic on LARPs.
I haven't done any. I think it would have to be the right group for me to, just because I've never done it before, so doing something new, I would have to know the people. I'd have to, be willing to be open with those people, because, that's what all expect you take on. Whatever you come up with is always going to be a part of you, regardless of how distant or abstract it is. So it reflects you in the weirdest ways possible. So it would have to be people you're open with that are accepting of those sorts of things, because what if you come up with a character idea which you think is completely normal and what? Off-putting. At all, people do it, I don't care. They look while doing it.
Your mic keeps going in and out.
Yeah. And I've seen others that look like they're having the best fun in the freaky world, and I would love to jump. But personally, I haven't done it, so I haven't got much. Yeah.
I'm laughing because your mic still goes in and out. You might, for the next one, want to set up your old one. Just saying.
Maybe. I got a Bluetooth thing going on. I don't know what's going on with it.
I don't know. It seems fine one moment, and then you continue to talk, and it just cuts out.
Yeah. I'll figure something else out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Jeremy, your topic of LARPs.
They're for silly people.
Huh?
They're for silly people. No.
They are for silly people.
They can be a lot of fun. You have to be careful who gets into them. I simply say it because I'm running a vampire LARP right now. I had an experience with one previously where we had a couple of people that couldn't separate reality from fantasy, and they actually started to think they were their characters, and it was a vampire game, and there was an incident with someone standing outside screaming because, well, honestly, they screwed up, but they wanted it to be somebody else's fault, so they're literally outside screaming because their character got screwed over, and there were friendships that were ended in that game because people couldn't take the idea of, no, I am not screwing you over, this character is screwing over this character. It has nothing to do with how I think of you.
Oh my god, that's funny. I mean, not the fact that it interrupted, but the fact that they are so ingrained in this mentality that they
got a little too much into it. Because if you didn't know, Vampire has the nickname Vampire the Backstab. Because it's a game that, especially in LARP, it ends up being very, very political. Which, if you think about it, if you have creatures that exist for hundreds and hundreds of years, and the only way to move up in the world is for someone to, fall down, go boom, or, physically or socially, it turns into a game of social backstabbing. Which I'm trying to keep out of the current game as much as I can, but it probably still happens some.
Like the last game?
Oh, that was tame.
That was tame, but it was still PvP.
I mean, seriously, in the last game, I got someone to pay for their own assassination. All right, this is the kind of screwed up stuff I came up with.
Epic.
I thought it was hilarious. The person that I did it to thought it was hilarious. Somebody else took it.
Okay, that's dumb. Like if the person who it happened to likes it, then there really shouldn't be any argument.
Yeah. They thought it was freaking.
They'll find a way. They find a way.
Yeah. And there are a lot of different kinds of LARPs too. I mean, there are ones where it's like vampires, just purely you stand around and it's basically like tabletop except with costumes, and you walk around and instead of dice, you're playing rock paper scissors, or you use a deck of cards or something. Then you have the more physical ones, Conquest, Dagger here. I know some people play Nero. I sometimes make fun of people who play Nero because they don't hit very hard, but it's all in good fun. If you have fun with it, go ahead and play. I'm just kidding around. But, then you have Dag and Conquest where you're, shield bashing people and, throwing things. The weapons are padded, but there's a reason you should wear armor. Actually, there's a javelin sitting about 2 feet that way, but I still need to test. I have a lot of fun with them. For me, it's always been like theater with no script. It's improv theater, and it's a blast to do because I've got this sheet or this guide that tells me what the character I'm doing is capable of, what they're not capable of, and then the story just unfolds as it unfolds. There's no script, there's no predicting it, and sometimes just absolutely hilarious things happen. Like Agamath, if he's on here, and he can tell you about milk and cookies. It's where 2 of them scream milk and cookies at the top of their lungs and then rush a shield wall and jump sideways and slam into the shields. I'll have to actually stop and think about it sometime, but some of the stories from that vampire LARP were just hilarious of things that happened.
Snarky.
Like the one person had, for vampires, if they get staked through the heart, they get immobilized. So she took what's supposed to be a merit called misplaced heart, where it, in her case, it was moved down to like the lower part of her abdomen. So it's supposed to be a merit. Well, she kind of jumped through an opening that slid shut and cut her in half. And since her heart was below the line, where it normally wouldn't have been, she died because of the merit that was supposed to save her life. And then there are just hilarious reactions where you as an ST can make horrible puns with people's names that nobody gets. Kat-astrophes.
Oh dear God, I hate that name. That name is going to be the bane of my existence for the rest of my life.
Don't say that too loudly, because there are worse things in the city.
Kat-astrophes?
Kat-astrophes.
Oh, Kat-astrophes, okay.
Ceras. Basically, the character is what's called a follower of Set, which are kind of like snake Egyptian-themed vampires. And so I split up the scientific name for an asp, or, you know, an Egyptian viper to use as his name.
Yeah.
I do things like that all the time, and I get a kick out of it, and everyone else just groans when they realize what I did.
Yeah, yeah. Like me.
Mm-hmm.
Just like me. So someone in the chat actually said, I've never LARPed, but I wish I did. Unless running around with a stick as a kid counts. And honestly, I personally want to say that kids probably don't realize they're LARPing.
They're playing pretend. That's
pretty much
very loose-ended LARPing, because there's no, you know, there's much less structure, and it's a little more free form, but that's pretty much what they're doing, and that's what LARPing is. It's playing pretend in a more organized setting.
I think that's interesting, though, because if you really sit down and think about it, yeah, you kind of are LARPing. Like, all the kids that are out there playing Cowboys and Indians. Like, and they're going
Cowboy
around...
Indian LARP.
Huh?
Cowboy and Indian LARP.
Right. Right?
Anything can be a LARP if you want it to be.
Also, chat says, Alex wants to LARP Second Life, then.
What? What?
What's Second Life?
You guys don't know about Second Life?
I know about Second Life. I'm just like, what is that? That's not real LARPing, is it? That's just like an avatar kind of thing. I don't know.
Well, Second Life is kind of... Oh, you're holding up your foam diamond sword.
Minecraft sword!
Almira's not next to me, or I'd poke her with it.
Huh.
Alex is feeling sick enough about me, or sorry, Dave is feeling sick enough about me poking him.
Yes. I'll poke back,
sorry,
mister.
I'm used to calling people by their screen name, not their real names, so I get a little...
Yeah.
That's right.
But no, like, Second Life, you had an avatar that you dressed up, and you played, like, an
Why would
MMO.
you make us... see, here's the thing with Second Life. You're basically reenacting everything that the tedious things that you already do. And I know I kind of said that you can make an RPG out of something that is realistic, but not when it involves, oh, you got to go down to the store and buy milk and eggs, or you get experience. I don't want to get experience doing stupid stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like if I see a robber and I punch him in the face, I should get experience from that, because that's not something I would really do in real life, but it still can be done.
Right. Also, he asks, does Alex have an SNES in the corner of his screen?
What?
Do you have an
Why are these people...
Sniff.
Why are these people looking in my room all the time? Jesus. I gotta make sure my headphone wire isn't too tangled, which it is. What the fuck is this? I found a wire and I don't know what it's for, so I'm gonna set it aside. I can. Well, to answer your question, yeah, I do have a Super Nintendo, and there's a Nintendo 64 on top of it.
Oh, okay.
Neither of which are plugged in. but because I have no room to put them on my shelf. But yes, and I kind of value that as Super Nintendo because I never had a Super Nintendo as a kid. I had a Sega Genesis, so and the more and more I got into YouTube and gaming, I'm like, I should find a Super Nintendo. I know there are some fun games to play. I went to this little sort of a retro gaming store nearby, and they were selling a Super Nintendo for about $50. And kind of the running thing with the Super Nintendo is that if you keep it around too long, it starts to turn yellow, like a nasty, putrid, piss-colored yellow. But this one that I bought was completely clean. It was completely just gray, and I'm like, I want to keep it that way. So
nice.
So yeah, that is a Super Nintendo for whoever is more interested in what's behind me.
But yeah, going back to the topic of LARPs for a second, I think there should be a huge difference between what a live action roleplay is and what live combat is, because like Dago here and Nero and stuff like that is literally, there's no story. You go out and beat.
There is.
There is, but there isn't. You go.
Nero especially.
Okay. So Dago here, you go out and you beat people with foam swords, and a lot of people I think need to understand that there is a huge difference, because I've talked to people and I'm like, yeah, I LARP, and they're like, so you fight, and I'm like, not really. Like, you mean foam weapon fighting, or that I'm like fighting with someone, or that I'm fighting as a character in game? And they're like, no, like beating people up with foam weapons. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Kat would totally beat up everyone.
Honestly, though, there's a lot of LARPs that do involve some form of buff or combat.
There are.
In fact, I think the reason most people have that impression is because there are probably a lot more larger games that involve some form of combat than not. Because, I mean, Nero, usually there's a storyline to what's going on. Conquest over in Europe, there's usually at least some form of a story behind the battle that's going on. I just always use it as an example because it's got very lenient combat rules, meaning you're allowed to do a lot, whereas Nero, you're not allowed to hit very hard, or at least you used to not be allowed to. I haven't looked into it in like 8 years, so they might have changed things. But a lot of LARPs really do involve that. The one you're in right now, at least in my experience, is more of an exception than a rule.
Well, I know, like, Vampire, though. Like, I'm talking in the course of talking to people about LARPs, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't think of the dress-up aspect. They don't think of us, like, the theater aspect of it. They just think of hitting people with foam swords.
Well, and part of that's because a lot of them want a way to make fun of people who are LARPing, and they think, oh, you're hitting each other with foam swords, and they've never been hit by the Q-tip of doom.
Oh, dear God, the Q-tip
You know
of
what
doom.
I'm referring to. It's this giant two-handed red weapon that Agamath made. That it doesn't hurt. It will not bruise you, no matter how hard you get hit with it. However, you feel like someone crawled inside you and started punching you, and you're locked.
It literally will move you.
You don't feel the impact on the outside of your body. You feel it inside your chest cavity.
Yeah.
These people have also never seen full-grown men, charge a Roman shield line, jump, and slam into it sideways as hard as they can. I used to know a guy whose nickname was Ogre, and he was 6'8", and, well, kind of proportioned like an ogre. And he had a saying of, ogre make whole.
Mm-hmm.
And that is when this 6'8", however big he was, would charge a shield wall, jump, and slam into it sideways with his full body weight off the ground, and just make a hole in the shield wall, and then the people would run in afterwards and start hitting things.
Yep.
I mean, like in DAG, there are weapons like the javelins and the arrows. I mean, they're padded, but you're allowed to do headshots with those weapons. And then the two-handed red weapons, I mean, you get hit by one of those, you know it. And it's rare, but you do get, you know, a broken finger or a bloody nose. So I think the people who automatically bring up the foam weapon aspect of it are probably doing that because they want to lampoon the idea of LARPing.
Probably.
People who actually want to have the discussion about it will usually bring up the aspect of the costuming and things like that.
Let's step back for a second and talk about like the society of LARPing to people who aren't geeks. Let's see how many movies really are there that show aspects of LARPing or things of LARP. You have what is it? Role Models, I think was the movie that I saw.
Yeah.
And you see the combat aspect, but you also see kind of the story, like, oh, you have to make a character, and I'm a wizard, and I'm doing this, and it's not just combat. However, combat was 90% of it. And so when you look at stuff in the media, especially, a lot of it is just seeing the action of it.
Yeah. And everyone's seen the YouTube clip. Lightning bolt!
Yeah.
Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Okay. And that's when I talk about like DAG and Conquest. That's not what I'm talking about. There's a video out there for Conquest Mythodonia. It's over in Germany, where it's set to that song, you know, let the bodies hit the floor, let the bodies hit the floor. And you just have these, and this was a skirmish. This wasn't the actual battle that was being filmed. This was one side of the battle, splitting into two groups and going at it. And you just had these two lines of several hundred, maybe even 1,000 people dressed as orcs in full makeup and everything. And just like you would see in like the movie Braveheart or something, you see these two walls of people with shields, axes, giant polearms, just charging into each other, just slamming at full force.
That sounds cool. I don't know why people would take that negatively.
And then after they're done, they conga line off the battlefield.
I really don't see how you could take that negatively.
Well, it's like anything.
Someone says, could documentaries like Vikings or reenactment count as LARPing?
Yes.
Totally.
I mean, reenactment is LARPing.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
that's completely right. That's what they are.
what is it? Like people reenacting the Civil War and stuff like that?
Yeah,
that's more just historical fiction. That's really what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you're playing a character,
yeah,
you're role playing. It's live action. You're doing the costumes.
Nice.
That is LARPing.
Completely right. That is completely right, Jeremy.
Okay, so we're gonna actually head on to the next topic. Because I just was sitting here looking at the topic and went, this is going to be hilarious. And this is also kind of like us talking about LARPing.
Uh-oh.
Are you ready for this, guys? This is the most important question of your lifetimes. Are you ready for this?
This better not be that Pirates Ninjas question you were talking about.
Pirate versus Ninja, which one? Alex, go.
I was afraid of it. Like, the most important question. I'm like, it's going to be that stupid Pirates versus Ninjas question that Kat was so proud of in her little vlog. You know what? I don't care. I think they're both represented fine. I don't know why you have to choose. Why do you gotta choose? Why can't you be a ninja pirate? Just like a person dressed as a ninja who gets on a ship and finds treasure.
Wait. You mean like that guy right there?
He's not a ninja. He's just a guy.
He's pretty damn close.
First of all, he is not a pirate because no pirate has that good of teeth. His teeth are like bright white.
He's
and I'm
not
like,
wrong.
you are not a pirate. You have been like brushing your teeth every frickin' hour. you think that your teeth are that good, and you're drinking rum with all your pals on your little boat quest.
But guys, there is a new TV show, kind of like Vikings, that's called Pirates.
What?
And they all have bright white teeth. Every single one of them.
What are called pirates? What?
Okay, you know how Vikings, like the
Vikings.
show...
I'm sorry, I just didn't hear what you said.
Like the show Vikings for the History Channel, there is now a new show that is kind of like Vikings that's called Pirates. And they go through the story of a person who was on a pirate ship. And they all have pearly white teeth. They're clean. They're not,
then they're
like...
lying.
Well,
or they're like they got like dentures.
I mean, are we expecting historical accuracy out of the History Channel now?
Right.
Yeah, I'm also expecting historical accuracy with Assassin's fucking Creed. So this game was made by a group of diverse beliefs, whatever.
So Pirates versus Ninjas, Alex. Pirates versus Ninja.
I don't care. Zombies, robots, monkeys, anything except those things that we've heard so many times before. Let's make something new. Everyone does zombies and monkeys and robots, and everyone does that already. Let's think of something else. How about, I don't know, like astronauts, but you can also be a space ninja and a space pirate.
It all goes back to ninjas versus pirates.
So just add space pirate or space ninja.
I will say that I like ninjas like equipment more. I like the katana. I like the red fancy scarf. I like the shuriken. I like those, but
you're a ninja.
I'm just tired of this argument.
You're a ninja.
Kat did this on purpose, just to make us make this completely redundant and overused question. This is how low we are on questions, people. Please save us now. Make new questions, or we're going to have to answer more like this.
I have a question for your question. Is it you prefer to be one of them, or which one you like more in general? Because that changes my answer. Cause
Pirates versus Ninjas. That's all it says. Pirates versus Ninjas.
If I had to be one pirate, if it's just picking my favorite ninja, for whole different reasons.
Well, someone in chat just said Firefly, LOL, space pirate.
Yeah, space pirate.
There's a ton of space pirates.
Han Solo.
Like
Han Solo.
There's like, I don't know, there's like magical shopping arcade of Benabashi had space pirates, and they were all like, well, two of them were buxom women, but another one was kind of like an old woman who looked eerily like a transvestite. But so apparently, transvestites can be space pirates. Anybody can be a space pirate. If you can get to space and you steal something from somewhere, you are a space pirate.
Yes.
Or like Treasure Planet. That was a good movie. But you never hear about space ninjas. Here's the thing about space ninjas. Ninjas could hide in space really well because they're wearing black, and there's nothing but black in space.
All they have to do is put like white dots all over them, and then just like
crawl across the windows.
See, there's no one to assassinate in space, but there are things to steal in space.
Why did I just get the mental image of Zoidberg in a ninja costume, like slithering along the outside, and like sucking on
because the that would be awesome. I'm going to be a ninja. Then I can finally afford a front door, or however, whatever, because he's so poor.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Someone answer the question so we can move on from this.
Right. If you have to be one pirate, because you got adventure, you got glory, you got money, you got women, all that sort of thing. Or man, depending on what you like, whatever. Being a ninja, you got servitude, death, chaos, whatever. Whatever your Shogun/master says, you do it. That's it. You have no free will anymore.
That is an interesting point. Like,
yeah,
pirates are free to do whatever.
Yeah, and the ninja
do what
is
you
in
want.
service to that house.
Do what you want, because a pirate lives free.
Yeah.
Do what you want, because a pirate lives free. You are
exactly.
Yar har fiddle-dee.
There's my answer.
Being a pirate is all right with me.
Yeah. There you go.
I don't know the rest of the song.
So, Jeremy, what are you? Are you a pirate or a ninja? Pirate or ninja?
Werewolf.
God damn it! Pirate or ninja?
Yeah.
You can be a werewolf.
A werewolf pirate.
See, the thing is, I like both, because, I mean, at least the first one or two Pirates of the Caribbean movies were absolutely hilarious, because Johnny Depp is good at playing a maniac. By the same token, I mean, well, we had that conversation the other day about the Ask a Ninja Ninja.
Mm-hmm.
I still can't believe how much money those guys made off of that. That was just hilarious. They were making, like, by the end of it, $100,000 a month each.
That's insane.
But, I mean, those were hilarious to watch, you know. And apparently to kill a ninja, you need to kidnap Chris Rock and recalibrate the kinetoscope. And if none of you have any idea what I'm talking about, just Google Ask a Ninja, how to kill a ninja.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was like two guys. They were on the guy was on Mythbusters a couple of times, I think. And it's just a guy in a ninja costume in front of a blue screen, and he's just answering random questions that people are sending in, kind of like we're doing now. And he's just being the over-the-top kung fu movie,
he's like this.
Crazy ninja.
That.
Ask a ninja.
That kind of stuff. Yeah.
It's just way over the top, and it's just hilarious. And apparently, to kill a ninja, you need to kidnap Chris Rock and something about John Cougar Mellencamp and recalibrating a kinetoscope. And oh yes, you must make sure you thoroughly paint the pigeons. Seriously, go look it up. It's hilarious.
It's pretty funny.
So what are you? Are you a pirate or are you a ninja?
Hey, you didn't answer the question.
Come
Who
on.
cares? Let him finish and move on. Questions suck.
You evaded.
I mean, see, the thing is, I like doing the free running stuff, but I can do that as both, because if I'm on a pirate ship, I'm going to be running through the rigging and swinging and jumping from mast to mast, and if I'm a ninja, I'm doing all that crap in a city. So, really, I'd have fun with either, although scurvy was more of a problem for pirates.
Just eat a crap ton of lemons.
You're fine, yeah.
Lemons?
Or, you know, try Vegemite will work.
Oranges. Whichever has vitamin C. Just remember to salt your fish and eat lots of oranges.
Almira, I'm poking you with a diamond sword through the TV.
Uh-huh.
Monitor here.
Just say pirates. Say pirates because One Piece is better than Naruto. Naruto sucks.
Yeah, but I'm not that big of an anime person. So if I'm going off of movies, there have been a lot more hilarious ninja movies. I do know that if I'm going to be a ninja, I want to be a single ninja, not a horde of ninjas, because if I'm a horde of ninjas, I am apparently the easiest defeated thing on the face of the planet. But if I am a single ninja, I can apparently take out an entire army by myself. Also, on the subject of ninjas, go look up the webcomic Dr. McNinja, because it's also hilarious.
So what are you? Are you a ninja or are you a pirate?
He's a ninja.
I don't know and I don't care.
Yes, that's the best answer I've ever heard.
He's a ninja.
I'm a crotchety old man. Leave me the hell alone. Get
God
off
damn
my
it.
lawn. Too
Are
late.
you a ninja or a pirate?
He's
Right
a
here.
ninja. Your
Right
turn,
here,
Kat.
right now.
Can we move on, please?
Are you a ninja or a pirate?
Pick one. Flip a coin. Who cares? Just do
Pick
it.
one.
Pick
You don't. You lie. Just lie about it.
No faster.
Oh my god.
I don't care.
Come on, just
I like
pick
both.
one.
His answers. He's a ninja.
Just
Oh, fine.
lie.
Ninja. I'll be
Okay.
Dr.
yes.
Ninja.
Okay. Now move on.
See, this is why I do these topics. This is
Damn it,
why
Kat.
we do these topics. Because we have
This
this.
is why we can't have nice things.
Because this discussion right here was just epic and amazing
Kat,
and
he
hilarious.
gave you
Oh,
an
it
answer.
wasn't.
And
Can we
trolling.
move on, please?
You haven't gotten mine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Answer now so we can get on with it.
I want to hear cats.
And stop making that face.
Okay, so let's see.
Oh, great. Now she has to think about it. She's had all this time to think about it, and she hasn't decided yet.
Okay, so if if I'm a ninja, I wouldn't want to be like he said, like a horde of ninjas. I'd want to be like that one assassin. That one assassin that's just like epic. However, I think that life would get very boring very quickly. Where if I'm a pirate, I could have all the bar wenches that I wanted. But also, if I was a ninja, I could just sneak into girls' rooms. Well, that's rape. Never mind, that won't work.
Why would you want to do that?
Yell surprise first.
Surprise! So, no, I think... But what if you were a pirate, but on a bad boat? And you didn't make any money, and you didn't get any treasure.
If you want to know the bad parts about being a ninja, go on YouTube and look up Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 Japanese commercial, and you'll realize that some people have a little bit more trouble being ninjas. Here's I'm putting the link in the Google Hangout now. If you want to see this commercial, you'll realize that there are troubles being a ninja. Kat wants to be a ninja. Let's get on with it.
No, I actually though, if I could be a pirate, I would definitely be Edwin.
Of course you would.
I would totally be. But like, I
Wait,
don't know
Edwin?
though.
Who's Edwin? You mean the Assassin's Creed guy?
Yeah.
That's like Edward.
No.
Yeah.
Kenway. The Kenway guy, right?
Yeah, Kenway, but I thought it was Edwin.
I thought it was Edward Kenway.
Edward?
It's Edward.
Word?
Kenway.
Really? Edward?
Here's the frickin' Wikipedia article.
Fine. Edward.
It's Edward. Yeah, so now, great. Now I made her think harder because she's not sure if she wants to be like a guy named Edward.
But no, seriously though, I think the Assassin's Creed series is probably a good indication of what like a ninja pirate would be. So I would have to go with pirate, but like be one of those like Edward Yeah, I thought it was Edwin for some reason.
It's Edward.
Edward. So,
Edward Kenway.
What kind of fan are you? What kind of fan of Assassin's Creed?
LOL, you have a poster of a guy that you don't know his name.
Exactly. Whoever said that, you get +1 high five.
+1 high five. But no.
She's the ultimate Assassin's Creed fan.
Keep in mind, I haven't actually played 4.
Oh, okay.
Clearly, you haven't.
I still have to get to 4 myself.
I haven't played 4.
I need to finish 3 first, but all of my friends are telling me that I don't need to do all the side quests and that it sucks.
Yeah.
I want to play 4 though.
So no, if I could be a pirate with assassin-ish type skills, like that burly, like, I want to say kind of like a pirate bounty hunter. That'd be pretty cool.
You want to be Boba Fett?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
sure.
would be Boba Fett.
Like non-space Boba Fett?
If I'm gonna be a pirate, I want to be Jack Sparrow. Or his dad. His dad
Jack
would be fun.
Sparrow.
Captain
Jack
Sparrow.
Like in the Japanese version of Kingdom Hearts, he's like Captain Jack Sparrow. Yeah.
Okay, are you happy now? I picked up the hat.
Next topic.
Are you happy now?
I'm thrilled, Kat. You're just making my day.
I like that question. First time anybody ever asked me that.
Really?
What is wrong with you, David?
Yeah.
You've never heard that before. You've never heard that before. That's the longest running stupid joke nerd question that's been going on for like a decade.
Well, first time for everything.
Okay, so
now you're an official nerd, like the rest of us.
Yeah.
we have a half hour to go through this next topic.
Oh boy.
Dalek or Cyberman?
And I have a feeling we probably will go through a half hour of this topic, by the way.
Okay.
Really?
Challenge accepted.
Free to play versus buy to play versus subscription.
You were gonna get a half hour out of that?
Oh yeah.
Free to play for me.
No. Like, go in depth, talk about it.
Because it's free.
Go in depth.
Alex.
It is free. Free to play.
Well, but when they mean free to play, they mean like you it doesn't take any money to buy and play the game, but there's usually things like microtransactions.
Yeah,
those suck.
but free to play it has pay to win, but I ignore that aspect. I just play it. And
Well,
then
I don't
I'm
like
done.
pay to win. Pay to win means that
Exactly.
you won't be able to experience a victory without spending more. I don't play any free to play or any of the other kind of games either, just because I don't have time. And I think that's why I think that's the argument that free to play likes to have. Well, some people don't have time to play it all the time, so we want them to still get some sort of advantage. Well, I'm sorry guys, but time is money, and you're kind of proving it right there. So I think that I'm saying this right now. By the time when I officially decide to commit to an MMO, it's not going to be free to play unless it's something like Path of Exile, because a lot of my friends say that's a really, really good free to play model. And it's just a good game. It's convenient, but because it's actually a well-built game. But I know that like Blizzard's working on their next MMO. It's going to be out in the next few years. If it has a subscription fee, and I actually have I'm in the financial position that I can shell out, then yeah, I'll pay a subscription fee. What you want to do is you just want to get the most out of that subscription fee, because you don't want to pay for a month of the game and then end up not doing anything for that month. So I can see the advantages that people think of free to play. It's really just people aren't using free to play right. Of course, Path of Exile does it right, but others aren't. So right now, I'd stick to just monthly subscription fee. That's my current situation.
Yes, but what about buy to play? Because I mean, a lot of people don't realize that some games are buy to play. Say, what is it? Guild Wars.
Secret War and Guild Wars are both buy to play.
Yeah, where you buy the game, but there's not really a subscription to it. Or hell, most console games are buy to play. Stuff like that. So what about something like that though? Would you pay to buy it and then play it that way?
Sure. It just depends if the game is good and if I'm getting my money's worth. I think Guild Wars did a great job at that. I have friends who are playing Guild Wars and they pay for the game, and then
are we talking specifically online massive multiplayer stuff, or just in general free to play subscription or buy to play? Because
I want to say in general.
Well, the free to play, the free to play is usually MMOs or something like that. Yeah. Usually.
If it's in general, then I say buy to play, because then you buy a game you like, you play it. If you like it, you keep playing it, but there's no ongoing fee or whatever.
I know there's an argument against buy to play, like you're spending a lot of money on it to play it.
Less than you would on that.
But the thing is, the advantage really isn't something that's unavoidable. I mean, if you buy something, there's a pretty good chance you'll like it. And if you buy a console game, there is a chance that you can trade it in and get some of that money back if you don't like it. In that regard, free to play sounds better, but I still because free to play games are usually weaker in quality than buy to play games. Usually. So that's really what's impacting my decision on that. Just the game's quality in general.
So, David, you said you were going to go with a buy-to-play?
Yeah. The only free-to-play game I've ever really, truly liked was RuneScape. I loved that. I played it when it was first created, and I was like, this is the best thing ever. I haven't touched it in years, though, but, whatever. It changed. I hate it. But buy-to-play, yeah, because, when you buy a game that you're going to own for ages, and you spend, even if it's $80 or $1, you're like, am I going to enjoy this game? Is it worth the money? And you put a lot more thought into it than a subscription game, because you're like, well, I just subscribe. If I don't like it after this month, I'll not. And it's like $10, $16, whatever. It doesn't matter. So buy to play, because, most games that I buy anyway, I put a lot of thought into, and I will get, Skyrim, I've got 220 hours in that, and I'm like, yeah, best game ever. But I don't have any game in my thing that I haven't played a lot unless it was given to me for free. Steam is everything I've put a lot of thought into. I've either watched people play it, or I've gone to reviews, or I've just gone, that looks like an awesome game. One of the two. One of the three, sorry. Yeah.
Jeremy, what's your take on this?
Well, in general, I don't like how most games, you don't actually buy the game anymore, you're buying a license for the game. I kind of miss the day when I could, buy a game, have a copy of it, and that was my copy to do with what I wanted, back in the dark ages. But as far as like, online gaming, I would say free-to-play is probably my least favorite model, just because of the way it's usually implemented. I remember the couple times I tried, like, LARPS. I mean, I love the Lord of the Rings settings. I reread the books every now and then, even though they're huge. And I rewatch the movies every now and then. But, running through Mirkwood and feeling like I'm going to see a billboard, kind of immersion-breaking for me, and just wasn't really something I wanted. I don't like how it seems like no one wants to pay for any kind of an MMO anymore. That seems to be an argument I always hear. Like, every new MMO that comes out, if I'm in the beta forums or if I'm, following it, there's always a large contingent of people who are going, free-to-play is the only way I'll play it. I mean, even on the Jim Butcher forums, I was talking to people about Secret World, and they sounded like, yeah, that sounds really good, that sounds really cool. And then there were 4 or 5 people who said, nah, I'm not going to play it until it gets free-to-play, though. It's weird because something going free-to-play is synonymous with it's failing for a lot of people, but yet a lot of those same people don't want to play something until it goes free-to-play. And I'd rather pay $5, $10, $15, even $20 a month of a subscription fee for a really good game with continually updated content than I would for something that's just free. And, like Alex has said repeatedly, it's a thing of a lot of times it is not implemented well, and it ends up either being pay to win, sorry, allergy season, or it ends up being a pay gateway that's just immersion breaking. I mean, like I said, Guild Wars it was always buy to play. I've never played Guild Wars because I'm not giving that particular company my money ever again after what they did with City of Heroes. Sorry.
So in other words, you're not playing anything of WildStar either?
Nope. So don't ask me about any of those games because I haven't played them and never will. It's just, if a company does something I don't like, I won't give them any of my money. I have not bought anything from Quiznos in forever because they did a commercial that just really pissed me off, and they played it over and over and over again. So I just don't eat there. Maybe I'm weird like that. But it's... I think you get what you pay for a lot of times, and I would rather pay that little bit of extra for a better gaming experience than to, I mean, I'm certainly not wealthy, and if I'm going to spend money on something, I want to get good value out of it, obviously, but at the same time, I don't want to play something that I'm not going to have fun with, or it's kind of like, oh, this is okay. I've tried a lot of free-to-play games, and some of them are gems that you just run across on a Steam sale or something, or just in Steam in general. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then others are gigantic turds, at least for me. And again, I play games for different reasons than some people do, so, I don't care if it's pretty. I want a good game with a good story.
So, also, kind of, something that I know, like I did, and I'm trying to figure out the way I want to phrase this, like, right now, but, I'm just gonna jump right into saying what I did, and why I'm so kind of with, like, it right now, is when the Secret World first came out, they had a Grand Masters pack. And the Grand Masters pack was $300. But what it meant was that you'd never have to pay a subscription. Ever. So at any point, even now, the game's been out for what, almost 2-3 years now? 2 years?
It hasn't been that long.
Year and a half, maybe?
Yeah.
I can still, however, I can still pick it up and play it. because I have the Grandmaster's pack. However, I spent $300 on it when it first came out. And I don't play it. I played it for 2 months. Like, religiously. Played it for 2 months. And I have not touched it yet. Ever again. Now, if that's the case, like, I really wish, like, Final Fantasy XIV would have offered something like that. I would have paid the $300 to never pay a subscription to an MMO that was subscription-based, because I knew that the quality was going to be there. And I think...
By the same token, have you really picked up Final Fantasy XIV that much lately?
Not lately, though. And that's the same thing where it's like...
I don't know if it's a good example, though, because you have a habit of... You, like, marathon play a game, you power level through it, you don't read the quest text or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then you get bored with the game.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, it's still one of those situations, though, at any point I can still pick up the Secret World and play a game that is still, like, sub-based.
It's not sub-based anymore, it went
I know, I know it went by to play, but still, doesn't it still do the issue content? You have to pay money to get the issue content?
Yeah, they run it like a DLC, basically. And you have the Grandmaster Pack, because I have the Grandmaster Pack as well. You get those for free, and you get, like, the cosmetic items that most people have to pay for. You get those for, well, you get a certain amount of each month you can spend on it for free.
But that's one of those conundrums that I'm sitting at. Because, like, right now, I'm... one of my weak points is collector's editions. Especially for MMOs. I love my collector's editions. When I heard, like, Elder Scrolls Online was doing a collector's edition, I was like, if I play this game, that's going to be the one I buy. And a lot of games, Terra, I bought an $80, like, collector's edition. I don't play it anymore. I bought the Cataclysm and collector's edition for World of Warcraft. Don't play anymore. Bought the collector's edition for Final Fantasy XIV. Don't play anymore. So I'm like, as much as it's like, ooh, shiny, I'm still like, is it gonna be
You in
something...
general are ooh shiny.
I know, me in general, ooh shiny. But is it gonna be something that, like, I don't know, like, I stay away from free-to-play games, in general. Just stay away from them. Because, A, the quality is bad, B, you get people that get on there and just troll like hell because they can. It's free to play. They didn't have to buy anything for it. But 2...
So who cares if they get banned?
Right, who cares? They can just make a new account. 3 on that, though, is you get microtransactions out the ass. Out the ass. Like, you want more bag space, you have to pay $20 for more bag space. And I think I will forever and always go to something that is subscription-based. And I honestly wish I kind of enjoyed World of Warcraft still. Because it kind of is one of those games that is going to forever be subscription-based. Unless they just completely tank. Which I see happening. I do see happening. But up until the fact that they completely just fall apart, they're gonna be subscription-based. And I honestly wish I kind of enjoyed it still, but after playing for so much of it, I'm just like, oh, dear God, it's World of Warcraft again. Really? Really? There's so many other things that you could do, and...
I still want to make my Lich King armor.
Yeah, that's true. So, Grim said in chat, would you buy League of Legends if you could access all the skins and or heroes? That's a good point. Like,
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
No, because I don't want to use all the heroes. And, you know, when you consider it's different game types like ARAM, if you have all the heroes, you're just going to get stuck with something you don't want to use. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, you don't want to pay for something that you don't want.
Exactly. Plus, if you want more skins, you can client-side edit them anyway. So you can have all your own custom shit on there. Fine. And if anyone else has that same program, they'll see it as well. So, you know, you want more skins, get free ones.
But yeah. No, I think though, like,
Cheap.
buy to play though, I don't think I've ever enjoyed a buy to play situation. Mine is getting console games and stuff like from Steam, because I don't know, it just seems I can see Guild Wars, like, you can log in at any point and you can play Guild Wars. You bought the game. It's kind of like me saying with the Grandmaster Pack for the Secret World. But it just, you don't know whether that quality is going to stick around, is what I'm saying, with something being buy to play.
Well,
So.
Well, buy to play, you'll get that quality you paid for it never improving. If you subscription based, the companies constantly improve on things and
Right.
make.
Well, it's like with Secret World. I've actually got the client downloading right now. I haven't logged in a while. We've talked about it a couple times lately, so you know what? It'll give me a break from Minecraft. I mean, with Secret World, they've kept, or at least the last time I logged in, the quality was still there. You know, it was still really good stories. I still really liked the way they did everything. But the frequency with which they were releasing stuff keeps kind of going down, but that happens when you have a dev team of like 12 people or something, because they were supposed to have much higher numbers for it, and that ended up not happening. There were some shenanigans that went on with that, as far as someone resigning CEO and all that kind of stuff. It almost, literally, there was a bit of a scandal with it where it seemed like someone was intentionally trying to tank it. Or the company in general, not just Secret World, but Funcom in general. And, you know, because they didn't have all those numbers, they couldn't keep the dev team they had. And if they'd had still all those people there to work on it, I think they would have continued to put out that quality content at a regular basis. As it is, I think they either just released Tokyo or are getting ready to release Tokyo, which is a whole new zone. And that was supposed to happen, you know, 6-8 months ago.
Yeah, that is actually far overdue.
But, you know, you got 12 people working on it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to happen too quickly. So I kind of wish they would have stayed subscription model, because I think it would have happened faster that way. But no one wants to pay a subscription anymore. They're like, free to play is the way of the future. Buy to play is the way of the future. Subscription model is dead. And then I look over at Warcraft and go, really?
Mm-hmm. World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV.
But those companies all have big names backing them.
That's true. Well, also look at Elder Scrolls Online. That's going to be subscription-based. WildStar, NCSoft, is going to be subscription-based. And we're talking about 4 major companies. NCSoft, Blizzard, Bethesda. I couldn't remember.
Because major companies can do the marketing. They can get past, quite frankly, the bull that a lot of people will put out about why this model is bad or why this game is bad or yada, yada, yada. I remember there was a whole Guild Wars versus Secret World thing back then because they came out at about the same time. And the thing is, everyone was laying into Secret World for deciding to release when they did, because they came out right around the time of Mists of Pandaria and Guild Wars. The thing is, they announced their release date well before either of those announced their release date. So, you know, it's kind of a thing of maybe they should have waited a month to release it. But they'd already delayed the release, so...
Yeah. Someone in chat also says, Tribes Ascend is a good free-to-play game.
I've heard good.
Are you looking it up, Alex?
It's a poor version of Tribes.
But I've seen gameplay of it. I remember who played it. I think it was some guys at the old gaming club at my college played it, and it looks interesting. It's It's like a shooter kind of thing.
If you played any of the Tribe's pay-to-play games, most people cannot stand Tribes Ascend because it's so shit compared to the rest of the franchise, even though it was paid for. But Tribes Ascend, it is just like looking at like a beta or a demo of one of their way earlier games.
I don't think that. I think it's really people vilify free-to-play just because the quality of these free-to-play editions are usually so bad. I mean, the most current version was like Dungeon Keeper on mobile, which is one of them, which takes a very classic franchise from Bullfrog. I mean, Dungeon Keeper's been an old game, and then EA, of course, brought it over to mobile and just completely microtransaction the shit out of it. It was literally you could not progress. The thing is, unless you paid them money, you were unable to continue making this dungeon for 24 hours. That's not and people said, "Oh, but you can pay money." That's a fucking paywall. You cannot continue unless you give them money.
Yeah.
And if you say, well, technically or not, I'm like, 24 hours? You want to wait 24 hours to build one square? That's absurd. And I thought all the bravest Final Fantasy was bad. This was the worst. And we get this discussion of, is free-to-play bad? And I'm like, of course it's not. It's bad when people do it like this, and then people get the idea. People get the idea of free-to-play is ruining these old franchises. And I'm like, well, you need people to take it seriously. You need people to make these classic, and it's just so confusing that they're trying to modernize these old franchises with these business practices that just don't make sense. That while it's not necessarily a free-to-play scenario, the fact that we're trying to force these nuanced features into old school structure is probably one reason why no one liked SimCity when it came out on PC. Well, aside from the obvious connection issues.
Aside from it not working.
Pretty much. I mean,
and then lying about.
They say, we can't do offline. You don't. Okay, you're going away. Here's your offline that we said you would never be able to get.
I think the Team 4-star. Vegeta and Nappa Let's Play of that.
Oh god, that's so perfect. I fucking bought it! All I want to make sure you get pirated, Vegeta.
But I have a receipt!
Who did this? It was probably EA. Let's go. And it's just... I've seen so many impressions of these ideas that they need to force these... And it's not even like a gameplay mechanic. It's just... a model of functionality. I don't know why they need to implement these free-to-play models on games that were completely fine without them. And I think the kicker with the Dungeon Keeper situation is, like, on Valentine's Day, GOG.com gave away the original Dungeon Keeper for free.
Nice.
I mean, EA's situation was like, okay, you can get the free-to-play model, or you could pay $6 for the regular model. And then GOG, I mean, that's just the perfect situation. They were giving away the good classic Dungeon Keeper away for free. You can't write something that perfect. And of course, I bought it. I'm probably never going to play it, but I got it because it's free, just to spite EA. Like that's so perfect.
Bloodcat says Runes of Magic was one of the first games that managed to get 1,500% per month off of average players switching to free-to-play.
I just think that it's hard to manage because free-to-play is so vilified. It's hard to find the good things.
Well, it's because so many people abuse it. I mean, City of Heroes towards the end, I was fine with the way they did it. Because pretty much everything I found that, I was paying for either by subscription or by microtransaction was cosmetic stuff. I didn't hit this massive paywall where I felt like I couldn't enjoy the game anymore without paying an exorbitant amount of money.
Pretty much. And I've noticed that more and more companies are trying to use free-to-play. Like Nintendo released some free-to-play games for 3DS, and people really liked them because they weren't intrusive. They didn't... And I think... I'm trying to remember what game. It was some game where you could go to the store, and you could pay for with real money, but you also had the opportunity to haggle with this in-game vendor, so you didn't have to pay as much real-world money. Now, I don't know if that solves the free-to-play model's problems, but it's a step in the right direction to making it feel like you're not forced to do this. And I just think that free-to-play can work. It's been proven to work. We've seen Path of Exile everyone loved and people are flocking to. All of my friends play Path of Exile so much, and the more contemporary versions of free-to-play working are like the ones that use cosmetics, like League of Legends or Team Fortress 2, or Hat Fortress 2 if you want to be snarky. And I think it's hard to say, and I think that we're still experimenting with this, but more and more companies don't want to make it better. They just want to try to fool us that it's getting better.
So let's for 2 seconds pretend that we're all millionaires. We have all the money in the world. Would free-to-play still be good? Like, if you could sit there and load out, like, thousands of dollars on playing this free-to-play game, like, do you think at that point the game would still be good?
I don't like spending my money on bullshit.
Well, let's say you, again, infinite amount of money, though. Money was not an option. It was all just about the gameplay quality, what was going on with the game. Do you think free-to-play would be good?
There's some games that would be worth it, and there's some that wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Yeah, it depends on the game, and I think that's one reason why people hate free-to-play so much, because the game behind the model is so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, there's always exceptions.
Oh yeah. There's exceptions to every rule.
I don't think we should have this problem with free-to-play because there are success stories. I just don't understand why no one else is trying it that way. It's because they just want money. That's really it.
Money. Money.
If I had unlimited money, I'd have an Xbox One right now.
That's true.
And a better PC, so I wouldn't even need the Xbox One unless I wanted to play something like, I don't know, what games do they have out for that? Anything?
If I had unlimited money,
Forza Motorsport.
I like the dance games on the Kinect, so I'd have to.
Well, those are the only good Kinect games, to be honest.
They really are.
I love Harmonix. They're great. They made Dance Central, and they're great people.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I still need to hook mine back up and finish playing through the Michael Jackson experience. I couldn't play it at my old house because the ceiling was only about 6.5 feet, and I kept slamming my head.
You know what we should definitely talk about next week? The virtual reality thing.
Yep.
Ooh,
We'll talk about that next week.
Yep, we'll do that. Talk
That's-
about Oculus Rift.
You mean that thing that's been on the horizon for like the last 2 or 3 decades?
Yep.
Pretty much.
We'll
And
talk
it's
about the
finally
Oculus Rift next time.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately it is now 4 o'clock, and I did tell you that this topic was going to take a half hour.
She's so
Just
proud
like-
that she's right.
I'm so proud. So proud.
Yeah.
So we're going to go for our closures, each one of us in order. Tell us where they can find you, what you're going to be doing, what you're up to for next week, and how they can get a hold of you. We'll start with Alex. Your outro.
I am on. I publish stuff on Hardcore Gamer Magazine. I write at least 3 things each week. Go there, read my review of Ground Zeroes because I'm really freaking proud of it. It was not even, that's not a game that's easy to review because you got to decide what goes where in your verdict. I also write for Pittsburgh Music Magazine. You're going to have a review of CD either tomorrow or Thursday, depending on when it's published. And you can always bother me on the Twitter, Post Mesmeric. I go there a lot. I'm always talking about something, and that's where I am most of the time.
Okay. David.
Okay, what have I been up to and where am I going? So, you can find me on YouTube at, just YouTube user of Cardinal. You can find me on Twitch. Not so much recently, but I'm going to get back into that, and I have no excuse because I'm sick. I have nothing else to do, really. So, twitch.tv/Cardinal. Find me on Twitter at the Alpha Cardinal. It's because someone has my name on there that has never tweeted ever once. I'm really angry at them. Oh, my name.
What a waste! I mean,
I know, the bastards. I have a big whole mushy story about how my screen name came to be, so it's important to me. Not getting into that now. Yeah, so you can find me at those places, and also every week here with these wonderful people. And yeah, play more games as often as you can. See you next week.
Jeremy. You're too cool for school.
We'll just skip you because you don't have social media presence.
No, I have Steam.
Oh,
and I'm on Al Mirmill's Minecraft server. You can find me on there and on Steam as Theodore Fietch. Yeah, that's about the only place I exist on the internet right now.
And here each week.
Yep, I'll be here each week, and I'll probably be on Almir's server, probably making more of her stuff pink, and trying to figure out a way to make a mob spawner in the Nether that actually works correctly.
Okay. I am, of course, Almirmiel, or aka Kat, and you can find me here on twitch.tv/Almirmiel or on Twitter @AlmirMiel, and my YouTube channel, which is Power Button, which is why I have the cat hat with the power button, if people are wondering. So all the links, of course, for these guys are down below here on the actual layout of the Twitch channel of the chat podcast. So you can find everything below us currently. I will be having links to everyone's stuff in the description below when this gets published to YouTube, so you can just simply click on the links below there as well. Right now I've also been doing, like they were saying, a Minecraft server. It's currently a donation server. The minimum requirement is $5 a month, mainly because I have to pay roughly about $40 a month to keep it up and running, so the more people that help with it, the more it's going to be able to become active, and you might see plugins, you'll see more slots open, stuff like that, but right now it's just plain Jane vanilla server. So until we can get more people onto it, it's unfortunately going to be $5 a month.
That has a really awesome castle on it.
Yes, and it has a really awesome castle on it that was made by that guy.
2 of them.
Right there. And a fortress, which was made by that guy right there. And a shack by the ocean that was made by that guy right there.
Oh,
and
you saw it?
Yeah, I did.
Yep.
And
So
I
before I made that, I would always respawn in Jeremy's castle, and it'd take me forever to walk back. I'm like, oh my, and I gotta jump off the frickin' level to land on the bridge, and then walk all the way back, and I'm like.
You could just use the button and go out the front door.
That's what I did, and then I got to walk all the way back to where my house would eventually be.
But yeah, so I also am streaming Mondays and Tuesdays, 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. if I'm not sleeping through them, which is what happened yesterday.
Don't put any money down on the Monday thing, people. I mean, you never know what'll happen there.
So, but yeah, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed this podcast, because we sure as hell enjoyed giving this podcast to you guys. So, we shall see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye-bye.